Unfortunately, before we even get started with today's video,
Houston, we have a problem.
now full disclosure, Tousains sent me their HiveGym power pump in order to do what I told them would be an honest and fair review. Now, as a courtesy, I sent them a preliminary video showing them what I was going to be talking about, and they told me to essentially take out any negative mention about the downsides of their HiveGym. And I told them, homie, don't play that. Now, those of you, my longtime subscribers, already know that I do nothing but honest reviews, and that is usually at the detrimental impact of this YouTube channel because obviously companies like Tousains will never work with me again. I don't care. I told them to take their affiliate links, roll them up in a ball, and shove them where the sun don't shine. But clearly I'm biased. I want you to watch today's video and comment down below if you think I was more than fair with the HiveGym power pump in terms of my experience and showcasing exercises using this thing. Will this single piece of portable home gym equipment save all of those hard-earned gains on your next vacation? The No Fake channel, checking in. Jonathan here with a huge piece of home gym equipment that might be perfect for those of you that travel often, or maybe you're just renting out a room, or you live in a one-room single studio apartment, or maybe you just live in a van down by the river, but you still want to get after those gains. I bring you the HiveGym Power Pump.
3, 2, 1.
The HiveGym is small and simple to use. You charge it up and then you just simply hit the button and you can lift with this. Now you can connect this to a pole, you can connect this to your power rack, you can also connect this to any door you want. They also have a suction cup allowing you to connect this thing to any smooth surface and train with it, or you can just literally step on the base and get after those gains. Now it does come with a Bluetooth connecting app. So if you do want to track your metrics, if you want to set the resistance on here through the app, you can. That is subscription free. But the beauty is, if you just want to hit that button, raise the resistance or lower the resistance, that's all you got to do.
That's all, folks.
Now, before I take you through my pros and my cons list after using this bad boy for more than 3 weeks now, I want to talk about the technology. If you're familiar with my channel, you probably have already seen my Unitree pump review as well as my Shogun Flex video. And if you're not familiar, hey, hit that subscribe button. But the technology is very similar. They use a battery and electronics to create resistance in a very small package. Now, when I first got this thing in, I literally thought that Unitree, which was one of the first companies to come out with it, they put it on a Kickstarter. They're actually a robotics company that developed this technology. I thought they actually licensed it out, which is what I think they did with Shogun. But I will tell you, I reached out to this company. They said that they developed it in-house. And there are some significant differences between this and the Unitree that we are going to dive into. And yes, they do matter. You don't want the sizzle, you want the steak. So let's go over the pros when it comes to the HiveGym. Number one, first and foremost, one that sets it apart from so many other pieces of equipment is the size. Look at, I have small baby hands and you can already see that it is smaller than my hand. Now, as far as weight, it's pretty light. I mean, I think it comes in at like 2 pounds, if that, meaning you can throw this in your briefcase, your suitcase, your backpack, anything you want to throw this into, you can. Now, the other massive selling point is the resistance. Now, this goes all the way up to 30 kilograms. And for you Americans out there using freedom units, that's 66 pounds. Now, I know most of you gorilla fighting monsters, that's a drop in the bucket compared to what you can do. But when it comes to functional exercises or single arm exercises, 66 pounds is a lot. And if you don't think so, I want to see your 66-pound dumbbell lateral raise. And we're going to talk about getting 2 of these and setting these up. But the reality is the Unitree pump as well as the Shogun Flex, I think, topped out at 44 pounds. Now we need to talk about the app. As we know, everything these days comes with its own specific app. Worse than that, many of them are subscription-based, causing you to get hit in the wallet month after month. Well, the beauty of the app with this is twofold. Number one, there's no subscription. You can download it, you connect it via Bluetooth, and if you want to follow a program, if you want to track your workouts, you absolutely can. If you want to raise the resistance through your phone, yes, you can. But the catch, the caveat, the best thing about this is you don't have to. Now, for many of us, we're on our phones all day long. And the last thing we want to do when we're hitting weights is to simply be having to go back to our phone between every set. This has buttons on it. You can just simply raise or lower the resistance as needed. Another upside is the cost. Yes. When it comes to home gym equipment and deciding what we're gonna buy, it always comes down to the Benjamins. Now this comes in for a single unit at $239, I think with my code or with the link in the description. Now you can get 2 units, which we'll talk about a little bit in depth in terms of whether you need 2 units. And that I think is actually the best deal because you can get 2 units with all of the extra bells and whistles that they throw in there for I think like $540 or less with coupon. And when you compare it to what the Unitree pump was charging, or even the Shogun Flex, which is now discontinued or sold out, what they were charging, it's actually a really great deal for both if this fits inside your wheelhouse. Another massive pro is the convenience of use. Now we already talked about how you just hit the button and go, but for a lot of these, the difficulty is actually setting it up. Whether you're traveling in a hotel room or you're just working out in your closet, you want to know how you're going to set this up. And it comes with 3 ways. You can wrap it around a pole or your power rack to the left of me. And this is actually super easy. You kind of just literally clip it in and tighten it down and boom, it's locked in. Or what I think many people will be doing, especially if you're traveling, is you just use this in your door jamb. So you put this in, shut the door, and it's literally locked in. This is a really nice one with a metal insert on the inside, so it's not gonna really collapse under a lot of tension. And the coup d'etat is this bad boy suction cup. Now, obviously, for those of you not familiar, you do need to have a flat and non-porous surface. So if you try to do this against something rough like a concrete block, it ain't gonna work. Now the other beautiful thing with regards to the HiveGym is the fact that you can literally clip in any attachment you want. And if you've been a home gym enthusiast, you know there are thousands of different attachments in all shapes, sizes, hitting different angles. And while it does come with 2 handles, which I love, allowing you to do 2-handled movement off of one HiveGym, the fact that you can go out and buy your own attachments, go on Amazon, I'll put a few in the description. You could get like 5 or 6 attachments for like $30 off of Amazon, and that adds a whole nother level of versatility and variety into this one. Now for you flat-bottomed girls that are looking to build up that booty, it does come with an ankle strap. I mean, you could use this for your wrist as well, but you know I've got dumps like a truck, so I didn't bother using that. Now, if you watch a bunch of reviews of the HiveGym, you're gonna hear nothing but positive stuff. Well, homie, don't play that. I always give you guys the honest review, and sometimes when we talk about negatives, they're not always deal breakers. Some of them are minor, some of them, frankly, are nothing really to be worried about, but if I don't mention them, then you're gonna feel like I did a bait and switch, and I want to keep these videos as honest as I can while I point you to the links in the description. So number 1 is the reality that this only goes up to 66 pounds, and I know so many of you are massively strong. You can't stop telling me how strong you are in the comments. In fact, tell me your max bench press in the comments below, just so I can feel like less of a man. But the reality is that is a lot of weight. So for those of you gray back gorillas, 66 pounds isn't going to cut it. You will need to get 2 for many of you to do the exercises at a realistic weight for your strength level. Now the other issue is the battery. Like anything, batteries are convenient because you don't have any wires wires, but they also will run out of charge. I will say at the max resistance, 66 pounds, this gives you 30 minutes of charge. Keep in mind, since many of us are not going to be operating at the max resistance full time, you're going to get much longer of a charge. For me, I got 3 to 4 workouts with this thing before I felt like I had to charge it up, before it was telling me, hey, plug this bad boy back in. One of the problems with the Unitree pump that I had, and I had mentioned, was the battery didn't last nearly as long. Reason being, because the weight didn't go as high as a lot of the stuff that we would like, people were literally maxing out that weight on every set. So that battery was getting drained and drained quickly. And I've got 2 more negatives to talk about, 2 more cons, 2 more things you need to know about. And no, they're not massive issues, but again, if I don't talk about them, you're gonna blow up the comments below and tell me how I lied to you, how horrible my videos are, how I don't even know what I'm doing. And that may very well be true, but I'm gonna tell you about these negatives. This handle actually feels really good. It's got a metal insert. It works well, but it's got the world's smallest clip. I mean, this is the clip that, you know, she tells you not to worry about, and she means it. I mean, this thing is horrible. Now, can I clip it in here? Yeah, I can clip this into the machine fine, but I really wish they had just had better clips. I mean, it's a small thing to ask for, but I feel like if they had a better clip, it would just be quicker and easier to connect and disconnect it. Another thing to consider when making any purchase, especially one that has electronic components, is the warranty and the return policy. This comes with a 2-year warranty and a 30-day return policy. I went onto their website to look at the verbiage because it's all about the devil being in the details when it comes to the return policy. And they basically said if it arrives and it's broken, that they will pay to have it returned. But if it, in fact, is something that you just regretted, they're going to charge you to get it shipped back, and you're going to be charged like a restocking fee. I didn't like the verbiage that they used, but up until this point, I've been using 2 of these, and quite frankly, they've worked very, very well. And the last negative that I need to talk about is the reality of people's perception. People will see something like this and they think it's going to replace a functional trainer. They think it's going to replace that $2,500 functional trainer that weighs 1,000 pounds. And it's just not. No! Another thing that is ultra minor is the resistance curve on this. The reason I'm mentioning it is because when I did the review of the Unitree pump and the Shogun Flex, you had 6 different options in terms of the resistance curve. You could do straight like a cable machine, but you could do chains, you could do concentric, eccentric, so that the resistance was varying in real time. Because for many of us, as you might imagine, you're much stronger on the negative when you're trying to resist the weight than the positive. So if you are looking to really maximize your time under tension, that having a lighter weight coming forward but a much heavier weight going back would be a great option. But when I went into the app, there was no way to set a different resistance curves. While it is nice to have a whole bunch of different lifting options in terms of the resistance, I will tell you with the Unitree pump, I always went back to the standard cable machine version. And that's what this provides. The idea is that it gives you a cable resistance feeling when you're going to use it. Now, the other problem with this, and I did find that with the Unitree pump as well, is that when you're going really fast, now some of us want to get that really explosive exercise, or maybe the exercise we set the weight too light and we're like cranking on it much faster and we have to kind of raise the resistance. You have to set the weight resistance accurately to the exercise. So if you're moving way too fast on an exercise, both on the positive and the negative, it's not going to feel right. You're going to get very little tension. Initially, the tension's going to kick in, and then when you go for the return, it's going to basically, the cable's going to just flop, and it's going to take longer to set that return than you would expect, and certainly not anything close to what a cable functional training machine would feel like. Now, when you do set the resistance correctly and dial it in, I will tell you it feels really good. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts when it comes to the HiveGym Power Pump. This thing absolutely delivers on the price point. At like $540 for 2, with all of the bonus attachments, I absolutely think it gives you a really good product. But do keep in mind a few things. Number one, if you're ultra strong, you really do need to get two, so that if you're doing something like a pull down, you can do 2 arms at once, or if you're doing something like a row, again, you can do 2 arms at once. But if you are expecting this to replace a $2,500 functional trainer, you are mistaken. The reality is this is for a very specific niche of people who have an ultra small space or they travel a lot. I think this is ideal for those of you that travel and you want to get a workout in or two to just kind of maintain your physical physique, or just maintain the fact that you're probably putting down a whole bunch of junk calories as well. You could put this or two in a backpack, or you could put it in a suitcase, show up in your hotel room, bang out tries and buys, do a little back, do some pullovers, do some axe kicks, do some abs on this thing, and boom, you've got yourself a beautiful 45-minute workout with very limited equipment. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, is this thing better than the Unitree pump that they're familiar with, that's been around for quite some time? And I will tell you, yes, because of the front buttons. I thought the Unitree pump was very good. I thought it was small, compact, and I did like the app, but obviously I didn't like to have to reset the resistance via the app. I like the fact that this has some simple buttons on the front allowing you to clip in and just go. I thought overall this is exactly what I expected for a small piece of equipment that comes in at a reasonable price compared to the competition. And at the end of the day, if you're traveling, if you're in a small apartment and you don't have any room for any gym equipment, you got to check out the HiveGym. It's a legit contender. But if you have the money, if you have the space, if you have the ability, clearly get yourself a functional trainer. You're not going to regret it. 2 other things that you will never regret watching these 2 videos. Give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, check those videos out, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.